Hi everyone, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. This is Love Apparel, and in today's video we are going to be sewing the senator top I cut a few days ago. So without wasting no time, let's get started with this video. First of all, I will start by cutting my placket for the neck. So I'm supposed to be using this African fabric for that, but because I needed a lot of ironing and there was no light, I decided to use this format. I decided to use this pattern paper. Later I will transfer it to a fabric. So on my pattern paper, I'm cutting the lower placket. So this pattern paper serves as a fabric now. So on the upper part I mark 2 inches, on the down part I mark 2 inches. I connect the lines and cut it. After cutting it off, so this 2 inches here now serves as my lower placket. So I'll go ahead to fold. Just watch the way I'm folding it. I'll first of all fold 0.5, that's half inch in. Then the remaining 1.5 I will fold it into 2 without any remainder. So here is my 0.5 in, then I will now fold into 2 again. So that is it for the lower placket. After folding it, I will go ahead to determine the height of my lower placket. So I'm marking 5 inches. The height of it is 4 inches plus 1 inches for my allowance. So I cut it off. After cutting it, I opened it up and mark half an inch on both the down and the upper part. The reason for this marking is just that I want my lower placket to relax on my neck, and I want the down part to cover my piping. So I will go ahead to fold it back. I'll first of all fold the 2 inches to I'll go ahead to fold it back just the way it was at first and iron it very well. So on your fabric, this is how the lower placket will be. So for my upper placket, I'll be using this collar stay for it. As you can see, I will measure 1 inches and cut it off. So here I will determine the length of my upper placket. So the length of my upper placket is 7.5. So for the 7.5, I fold it into 2. The half is what I cut this way to achieve a arrowhead. So this is it for my collar stay. I'll go ahead and place it on my fabric. So I'll go ahead and place it on this paper. Like I said, this paper serves as my fabric. So on your fabric, when you place it, you iron it so that it will stick. So here I've placed it on my pattern paper and I ironed it, just an imaginary iron. So after ironing it, I'll fold half an inch this way, because before I ironed it, I left half an inch by the side. I left an inch and left allowance on the top and down part of it. So I'll go ahead to fold it. This is the first fold. After folding with half an inch, I'll go ahead to fold the 1 inches. This is the first fold and this is the second fold. So I'll iron it to be firm. Just take a look at what I did. Here is the half an inch. I folded it and fold it again. Simple as that. On my upper placket, so the part that overlaps it, the height of my upper placket is 7.5, and I added extra 1.5 inches to it. So I cut it off. On the overlap part, I will divide it into 2. I'll mark a straight line dividing it into two and cut it off. After cutting it off, I opened it up. So from my upper part, so I opened the second layer and I divide it into two by marking my lower placket measurement. Here I measured it. So my lower placket, as we can remember, is 4 plus extra half an inch. So I marked it. So after marking it, so I opened it up to fold my arrowhead and cut it off. So I'll carefully fold it to give me the shape of my arrowhead. From my upper parts, I will measure 4 inches. So I will come down with 4 inch for my lower placket plus my half an inch which I mark. So from there I will come in and trim from my half an inch. I will connect the line to my arrowhead and cut it off. So I will cut it to my 4 inches, but cut it off on my half an inch. So as you can see I'm doing. So this half inch will be folded like this. How it will be folded. So I'm gonna head to turn my paper into fabric. Just as you can see, this is my half inches and I wrap it, and this is my arrowhead. So here I'll bring my fabric. I'm gonna head to pastel my inner fabric as well. So this is the front, and this is our midpoint, which I'm gonna head to notch. So from the midpoint which I notched, I'll come from it with half an inch, 0.25, 0.5. I'll come from it half an inch, and the length of my placket is 4 inches. So I'll connect a straight line. So this is our left side, and this is our right side. So I'll open up this line. So I'll go over to my machine and I'm going to be attaching it. First of all, I will flip it over and sew it. I'll just run a stitch on it. I will not. So I'll go ahead to sew my lower placket on this side. So after sewing it, I'll attach with my 7 inches and make sure it is centralized on both sides and sew it. So I'll head over to the machine and show you how to join it. Here I want to cut my neck piping. I've already joined my shoulder to shoulder. So here I'm cutting the front and the back neckline together. Just as you can see, I just folded my fabric into two, just the way the neckline is. So I go ahead to cut it. So after cutting it, I discovered that I did not add allowance, so I recut it again by adding allowance to it. So this is it. I will go ahead to notch the middle part, and also on my fabric I will notch the middle part. So you can decide to join it either from the front or the back, depending on how you sew it to come out neatly. So here I will join it from the inner by folding the half inches in and run a stitch all around and turn it over and top stitch on it. So that is what I did here. So this is it for my neckline. So I will need iron to iron it very well. So for my lower placket, I will go ahead to attach it. Remember, I'll go ahead to attach it by the folding it this way. I will run a stitch on it, but not on that ironed line. So I will run a stitch on it like this. So after folding it, I cut off the rope and turn it over to the front pattern. I will use my hand to straighten it. So I turn it over, making sure that the neck piping aligns together. I will fold it this way, just as you see me doing, and run a knit stitch on it. Remember, this is the front part, so you run a knit stitch on it. So this is it. I've gone ahead to run a knit stitch on it, as you can see, the front and the back. So I will now bring my upper placket and centralize it. So the upper placket will cover the small one, just as you can see. So first of all, centralize it. Then with that folded part, that 4 inches, 4.5 inches we folded, this is how I'm going to be attaching it to my fabric, making sure that the upper part aligns together. So I'll go ahead to my machine to sew it, but not on that ironed line. I will come forward and sew it. I will come forward from the ironed line and sew it. After sewing it, I cut off the rope. As you can see, I did not sew it on the exact ironed line. So I will flip it to the front part. I run a stitch on it. When I come to this place, I will notch it. So let me chalk it down. I will notch it. So after stitching it all around, I've gone ahead to join it and design it, give it the design I wanted. So this is it for the baby top. So what I need now is just to iron it very well, and that is it. So please, if you find this video helpful, please like, share, subscribe and comment on it. See you in my next video. Thank you for watching. For my returning subscribers, thank you. I'll definitely see you in my next video. Bye.